Hello everyone, welcome to another YouTube tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to create a simple temperature conversion program using Go programming language. So without further ado, let's get started. So here I have opened up my tutorial folder, which is located in my desktop in my VS Code window, as always. And as always, I'm going to first of all create a module for my project. So let's open up the terminal and type in this command to create it. Go mod init and temp converter, something like this. Hit enter, and that module has been created, so we can exit this terminal. Now let's create our main.go file, so main.go, and up here let's create our package declaration and import fmt, which is going to be our only library that we will need in this tutorial, in this program. So let's create main function, and at the top of the main function I want to display a simple welcoming message. So let's say fmt print line, something like welcome to a unit converter. That's that. And let's create an infinite while loop. In Go we don't have a while loop, that's why we have to use the for loop alternative for that. So let's say for true, and we want to display a couple of different options that the user can select. For example, converting from Celsius to Fahrenheit, converting from Fahrenheit to Celsius, and the third one is going to be exiting the program. So let's display those three options that are available for the user nicely formatted here. So first of all, I want to print line an empty string because I want to separate this loop iteration from the previous one. So that's going to be for decoration purposes. Then I want to display my first option, which is Celsius to Fahrenheit. Then the second one is going to be the other one, Fahrenheit to Celsius. Then the third one is going to be print line exit. So now we have to say the user to select one of those three options. So we will store the option in this option variable of type int, then fmt print, just print select an option, like this. Then I'm going to say if error equals to fmt scan line to my option. If this error does not equal to nil, which means that I wasn't able to get the user input correctly. So let's print here invalid temperature, and continue this loop. We are going to enter this if statement if the user types in some kind of non-integer, non-decimal value, some kind of this one. So if the user enters a valid integer, we will get through this if statement. That's why we have to check if the user's selected option is valid and falls into that specific range that we have here. So if the user types in, for example, some kind of negative number, it is of course invalid. And of course, if the user types in a number which is greater than 0, it is going to be invalid as well, because we only have three options available to the user here. So let's check that right now. So if option is less than 0, less than 1, or option is greater than 3, we want to say basically the same thing. So let's copy that so we don't have to manually type that in one more time. So after that, we have to break this loop if the user has selected the third option. So let's check that as well. So if option equals to 3, we just want to say break here to break out of the loop. Then I want to create those two string variables, from string, and toString, which are going to be of type string. Both of them will be of string data type. So if the option is equal to 0, I'll assign my from string to be Celsius, and my toString to be this Fahrenheit. So I'm using this this logic here because it is going to make my program a bit easier later on to write without writing any redundant if statements. So here I'm going to say from string to be Fahrenheit, and toString to be Celsius. I hope I wrote those two words correctly. Yeah, I think those are correct. Then I want to get the temperature from the user that they want to convert. So let's take that as well, which is going to be very similar to this part. So let's type that in manually this time. So temperature, and I'm going to declare this result variable as well, because I'm going to be assigning that, initializing some kind of value to it later on in our program. Both of them will be of float64 data types, because my temperature can have some kind of precision. They're not necessarily going to be whole integers. So let's say here to the user to print the temperature. So enter temperature in this s. So this s is going to be my from string. Also, this should be printf, not just print. And if error equals to fmt scan line to my temperature, error does not equal to nil, I want to say fmt print line invalid temperature and continue. Otherwise, I want to convert this temperature that I got from the user to its correct form. So if option equals to 1, I want to convert the temperature from Celsius to Fahrenheit. Otherwise, I want to convert from Fahrenheit to Celsius, as you know. So the formula is going to be a bit different. For the first one, the formula is going to be as follows. I have to take my temperature, multiply it by 9, then divide it by 5, then add 32 to that. And for the second option, the formula is as follows. So temperature minus 32, then that number times by 5, then divided by 0. Not 0, but 9. So here I want to display the result nicely formatted. That's why I'll be using this printf instead of println or print. So printf, then %1.1 f, then my string, then equal sign, then the same thing, and a new line character. So let's provide those values here. So the first one is going to be temperature, then from string, then the second one result, and toString. So after we break this loop, we want to display some kind of goodbye message. So let's just say here bye and 3 dots. Alright, this should be it for our simple temperature converter program. So let's try to run it to see if it is going to work correctly or not. So open up the terminal and run it, go run dot. And it asks us for the option, for us to select the option. So let's choose the first option, from Celsius to Fahrenheit. So let's provide a temperature in Celsius, for example 18 degrees Celsius. So 18 degrees Celsius is going to be equal to 64.4 degrees in Fahrenheit. So let's try to convert the other way around. So let's provide 64.4 and equals to 18 degrees in Celsius, which is totally correct. Then let's try to convert from Fahrenheit to Celsius one more time. So let's select some kind of temperature, arbitrary temperature 81, and 81 degrees in Fahrenheit equals to 27.2 degrees in Celsius, which is absolutely correct. Then let's try to exit the program, and it says bye here. So yeah, let's clear this. So yeah, this was a simple temperature conversion program that we have implemented in Go programming language. So by this we can wrap up this video. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.